Hey everyone, and welcome back to 190 Ethan. I'm Ethan, and today we're featuring a very special car to me because I own this car, the Toyota Camry. Picture this. It's the late 70s, early 80s. The oil crisis is full blast, and people in America are looking for more reliable, more affordable, and more fuel efficient vehicles. In comes the Camry. The name Camry comes from a Japanese word, kanmuri, which actually means crown. And this adds to the now four vehicles that Toyota offers that are named Crown. That's right, the Camry means crown, the Corolla means small crown, the Corona was crown in Latin, and then, of course, the Toyota Crown. I don't know why Toyota loves Crown so much, but today we're just talking about the one Crown, the Camry. So let's get into the generations. The first generation, it came in as a boxy, compact car, front wheel drive, inline four, very basic design and basic features. It was really known for its reliability and practicality. No frills, everything you needed, nothing more. It also offered a hatchback version and it came in manual and automatic transmissions. As we got into the second generation, continued down that road of kind of no nonsense. It got a little bit more family oriented, which it grew in size. It also got all wheel drive for those that live in snowy climates, and they offered a V6 engine for those that needed a little bit more power. But still pretty basic interior, nothing fancy, nothing sporty, just a car. They also offered a wagon version to be a little bit more family friendly as well. Into Generation 3, the Camry got more American. It got bigger, it got faster, and it got a little bit more luxurious. They still offered the wagon version for families, but you could also now get it in a coupe. They still offered the V6 option. And this is when Camry actually became American in that it started being built in Georgetown, Kentucky, in Toyota's plant, which is one of the largest plants in North America. Moving into the fourth generation, this was a big generation for Camry. I'm sure if you lived in America around this time, the early 2000s, you saw these everywhere. Everyone had one. It was a whole new platform. It got bigger, it got a little bit more reliable, a little bit more refined. This is actually when the Camry earned its crown, so to speak. The Camry became the best selling vehicle in America in this generation. And that's not for no reason. It was reliable, it was affordable, it was somewhat powerful and somewhat luxurious. It was everything you need and nothing else. It was exactly what Americans were looking for at this time. They got rid of the wagon model because they thought it competed too close to the new Toyota Sienna, which was a minivan at the time. Moving into the fourth generation, once again, the Camry, as the US's best selling car, became more and more American. It got bigger, more refined, more efficient. This, I say, is when the Camry kind of had its midlife crisis. You know, it's been around for a little while as this reliable, basic, no frills sedan. This year model, they offered the Camry Solera, which was available as a convertible and as a coupe. And you also could get a 260 horsepower V6, which at the time was pretty powerful. Moving into the sixth generation, this is when you could say Camry got more American because this is when Camry started racing in NASCAR. It won its first Cup Series in '08, and they released the SE trim, which was a little bit more of a sporty trim. They also tried to stay kind of hip with the kids by releasing a hybrid model. And at the time in '07, hybrid was pretty new. This was second only to the Prius as availability. So they were a little bit ahead of their time for that. Into the seventh generation, you could definitely say midlife crisis was over. We're going back to styling that resembles egg. You could say it went back to beige. Visually, this might be the most boring car I've ever seen. But once again, it's a Camry. It got bigger, it got more refined, it got more efficient, right? It's not ever trying to be flashy, it's not ever trying to grab your attention. It's really just about reliability, fuel efficiency, and family oriented vehicle. Into the eighth generation, this is the generation that we'll be driving today. It ran from 2018 to 2024. The Camry we're driving today is the 2019 XLE, so it's the more kind of luxury model. At this time, they also offered the Camry in the XSE, which is a bit more of a sporty model, and then the TRD, which is very sporty and offered a 302 horsepower V6. The Camry is still a Camry in these generations. It's a little bit more refined. It's once again bigger, and but it's still fuel efficient. It's still reliable. It's still a family sedan. This generation is also when the Camry lost its crown. It's in this generation when the Camry stopped being the US's number one selling vehicle, which it held the title for 19 years. It was replaced by the Toyota RAV4, as Americans wanted more SUVs than sedans. Although it lost its crown to the RAV4, you could say that the Camry still holds that crown, and that's because the RAV4 and the Camry are actually built on the same platform. It's called Toyota's New Global Architecture, or TNGA platform, and it's shared between the Toyota Avalon, the RAV4, the Camry, the Lexus ES, and the Highlander. So even though the RAV4 has taken over the crown as the US best-selling car, the Camry is still there in the background. The ninth generation is the most recent generation for the 2025 model year, and most of the changes that happened were visual. They added some screens on the inside. Once again, it's larger, refined, more efficient. The new Camry only comes with a 4-cylinder hybrid powertrain, and they got rid of the TRD model. So once again, it's kind of back to those Camry roots. All in all, the Camry is what I would say necessary. It's never been flashy. It's tried to be many things. It's tried to be luxury. It's tried to be sport. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it never lost its focus. Reliable, durable, no nonsense, family hauler. Even to this day, you'll find Camrys in any generation that have gone 5, 6, 700,000 miles, up to even 1,000,000 miles. They're really good options for things like cab drivers or Uber drivers or Door Dashers, pizza delivery men, all the way up into NASCAR. Not only that, but the Camry has been being built in America for most of its life. Even though it's a Japanese design, it's still American at heart. So that's a synopsis of the evolution of the Camry. Now let's go take a look and take it for a drive and see what we think. All right, everybody, here's what we'll be driving today. It's a 2019 Camry XLE. You can tell by the wheels and the front grille that this is the XLE model, not the XSE, which is the sportier model. Also, it only has one tailpipe, not the quad exhaust that the XSE has. But overall, pretty good, larger size sedan. Let's take a look at the inside. It has keyless entry, where you can lock and unlock by using your hand, maybe. The inside is fitted with leather accents, black leather in this case, leather seats with the little brown stripe for some reason. Apple CarPlay, although it is wired, there's a wireless charging pad down here that hides a little storage box. Pretty basic interior, nothing fancy. We'll take a look at the back seat so you can see how the car seat fits. Pretty large car seat. You can see forward facing in this instance, but we do have another one that faces the rear that fits pretty well behind the passenger seat if you push it up a little bit. Let's take a look at the trunk. Really nothing special in here. Pretty good sized trunk though, and able to fit just about everything. These little pull tabs are nice to pull down the rear seats without having to get up there. But all in all, that's about it. Really nothing too fancy about this car. And as you'll see in the review, that's kind of the theme. Let's get in and see what we think. All right, welcome inside the 2019 Toyota Camry XLE. Now, I know what you're thinking right off the bat. Ethan, how'd you get a haircut that fast? Well, believe it or not, my 6 YouTube subscribers are not paying my light bill, so I do this on the weekends and after bedtime, so it's the next day. That being said, the Camry. When I first picked the Camry for this video, I thought, how in the world am I gonna make this interesting? It's just a Camry. 4 doors, 4 wheels, steering wheel, seats. You get the point. The driving experience is fine. It's not good, it's not bad, it's like vanilla pudding. It's pleasant enough, but you're not going to write home about it. It does have a feeling of a solid build quality, like it was screwed together by people who actually care. But then comes the road noise, which is less serene sedan and more hollow drum with seats. That being said, it is impossible to kill. You could drive this car for 300,000 miles and it would still start every day like an enthusiastic golden retriever. The seats are comfortable, the features are adequate. With Toyota Safety Sense Standard, you get adaptive cruise control, but no keyless start. It gives you everything you need and absolutely nothing else. It's a Chick-fil-A sandwich with no sauce. End of review. Right? Wrong, because this is 190 Ethan, and on this channel, cars have personalities, just like people do. I've driven this Camry for a while now, and at first I thought I knew what it was. But the more I've looked into it and researched and driven it, the more there is to the story. This isn't just a Japanese accountant on wheels. It's much more than that. This car is America. Not the fireworks and eagles America, but the real America. The working class, door dashing, Uber driving, long commuting America. The grandparent hauling kids to soccer practice America. This is the car that parents buy to keep their kids safe when going off to college. It's the car that seniors buy when they need a car not to last a few years, but the rest of their lives. For nearly 2 decades, this was America's #1 selling vehicle, and that's not by accident. America runs on Camrys. And the truth is, once you look past the spec sheet, there's something honorable about it. The Camry doesn't pretend to be exciting or luxurious. It doesn't beg for attention. It just shows up, does the job, and goes home quietly. It's blue collar, bootstrapped, and oddly soulful. Sure, it's went through some phases. It tried to be sporty, wore a shiny suit, but at the end of the day, it's always been the same car. Humble, dependable, and relentlessly competent. So yes, it's just a Camry. But then again, you're just a person. 6 foot, brown hair, brown eyes. It's not until you get to know someone's story that you really begin to appreciate who they are. With that, let's get out and sum it up. So at the end of the day, the Camry is the humble software developer at the office. No fancy title, no company credit card, but has single-handedly written the base code for all of the applications that company runs off of. At the end of the day, it's just a Camry. But that's the point.